Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the 2022 third generation of the Suzuki SX4 S-Cross and it might be coming to India as well. The key is very simple. Unlock the car, lock the car. That's about it. Anyways, straight away coming to the vehicle, what we're going to do is open the engine bay. Now this is where this car really stands out because global models get the booster jet turbocharged petrol engine, which is just fantastic. And there you can see there is insulation as well. This is where the washer fluid actually goes and engine bay actually looks quite empty, you know. But anyways, this is where Suzuki has really done a great job because they have changed the design language. The old S-Cross did not look nice at all. This one, although still a crossover, at least looks quite nice because it looks quite bold. Now it gets ADAS functions, that's the reason the sensor is here. Front parking camera, Suzuki logo, gloss finishing here on the grille. Some paint has actually come off here, which is kind of funny. Anyways, front parking sensors as well. This is the towing hook, the fog light, indicator, none of them halogen. This is an all LED light. This is the DRL and there inside you can see the lights. Now you might think it looks a bit like the Grand Vitara sold in India, which is similar to the High Rider. Yes, it is, but it is actually smaller than the Grand Vitara in every dimension possible. Anyways, it gets a slew of cameras here. Can you see on the top? Yeah, multiple cameras. Well, that is for the ADAS functions, and obviously it gets rain sensing wipers as well. So all the sensors go in that use, lane keep assist and whatnot. So yes, it's a safe car here because obviously it is not made in India. This one is actually made in Hungary. From the side, it's a 4.3 meter long car with a wheelbase of 2.6 meters, which is similar to the Honda City and the Hyundai Creta. The tire size on this car happens to be a 215/55/17. Alloy wheel design looks nice. There are two variants, Motion and Ultra. This is the top variant, which actually gets alloy wheels. The lower variant does not get alloy wheels. In fact, doesn't even get a panoramic sunroof, but then the price will be lower. In fact, the price of this car is around 27 lakhs. So 25 to 27 lakhs is the price range. Cars are expensive in the UK for a lot of reasons, like ADAS has to be mandatory. Anyways, there's a camera here. It obviously gets a 360-degree camera. You can see indicator here on the mirror. This is very similar to what we get in India. The button to actually unlock the car. And you can see the rear windows are actually tinted here. It has a very nice stance and is a real SUV. You know why? Because it gets AllGrip. Yes, four-wheel drive system. Here you can see rear discs, of course. And coming to the rear, I realized that this kind of looks aftermarket, the tail lights. These are LEDs. This is halogen, the indicator. The reverse light is also halogen. Says SX4 S-Cross Hybrid AllGrip. And rear parking sensors. This is the rear fog light of the vehicle. That is the rear camera, of course. You can see the bumper is actually not body colored. Plastic, of course. Faisal Khan's fingers of truth will go down to find the exhaust. That is the exhaust of the vehicle. You can see the underbody as well. Can you see that thing? Yeah. Now let's do one thing. Let's open the boot of the vehicle, which happens to be 430 liters, which is actually quite decent. And you know what? There's a 12-volt charging socket here, light placement there, and cubby hole here as well. I don't know what this is, but you know what? This can be moved. I'll show you that in a bit. There's a hook here. I can just pull this up like that. It slots into place. So there's some storage space below. In fact, how do I pull this? Yeah. There is the tire repair kit. It does not get a spare wheel. Okay, I just slot this here and I can open it like this. So that partition bit is also quite nice here. Now let me shut this and let's straight away get inside. No, it's not a taxi. Don't get confused, guys. To open this, there's a separate button on the inside. There's a request sensor on the left side, just like what we see in Indian models. Now here's the thing. I can actually put the seat in 60/40 format to increase the boot carrying capacity. However, okay, you see this is upright and then I can adjust it further. So there are two angles for the rear seat, which is kind of nice. Door pockets are really small at the rear and get this nice sort of gunmetal treatment as well. Legroom is actually good. Yeah, legroom seems to be good. Knee room seems to be good. Actually, footroom is not that great because the batteries are placed below the front seats. That's the reason footroom is not that good. Otherwise, this is scooped out. There's a magazine holder here. No magazine holder here, but scooped out. Can you notice something? No rear AC vents, no charging sockets. Nothing has been given at the rear. And to make matters worse, you can see my head is actually touching. Yeah, so headroom isn't that great because of the panoramic roof. Headroom goes for a toss. There's a light placement here. Okay, halogen, of course. handle to hold on to. There's a hook here, height adjustable seat belts as well, and there is a center armrest too with twin cup holders. All three headrests are adjustable. You get a proper seat belt as well, which is kind of cool and nice. And the dashboard design is very similar to what we have seen on the latest Maruti Suzuki cars. So you get that big display in the center. Kind of cool. Overall quality is fantastic. You can see the white stitching. Fantastic when I compare to the Indian model, but the difference is not huge. So I would say quality is slightly better than the Indian car or other cars sold by Maruti in India, but not dramatically so. So yeah, cost cutting is there. Anyways, let's get outside. You saw the space. Yeah, could have done with better headroom for sure. Otherwise, if you want headroom, get the lower trim. Now the thing is, you can see here, it gets heated mirrors. It also gets blind spot monitor as well. Loaded with a lot of tech, and because this car is so expensive, it does not run on MRF tires. It runs on Continental tires. So here is where the chassis number is there. Okay, you can easily put the wiper up. So cleaning in India will not be a problem. It says Suzuki way of life on the outside. On the inside, it is just telling you the number of roadside assistance in case something goes wrong. Now let's get inside, because there's a lot of interesting things you would find in this car. For starters, ergonomics are spot on. I like this chrome line which is going through. Okay, seats are very comfortable and nice with good support. Nice white stitching. Says SX4 S-Cross on the carpet, or rather the mat as well. A proper dead pedal there. Says SRS airbag here. There's a cubby hole right there. This is the engine start button. This is for lane departure assist, not for the warning, for the lane departure assist. So it will automatically turn the steering wheel. This is for forward collision warning. So these are the buttons if you want to turn on and off those systems. This is for the stop start system. This is for traction control. This is for the rear fog, and this is for the parking sensors. So clean buttons, no confusion there. Okay, door pockets are big enough at the front. This switchgear I'm seeing in Maruti cars since 2005, the first generation of the Swift, and it continues here as well. These are the controls for the outside rear view mirror adjustment. Chrome door handle, nice leather finishing as well. So overall, that's kind of nice. Let's get inside. First things first, I'm going to turn off the indicator. I'm also going to turn off the lights so you can see the screen. Glove box is actually decent sized, and here it gives you the option to shut off the passenger airbag. But you know what? It has got multiple airbags. You can see airbag is written here. I'm not too sure if you can see that. Let me show it to you this side. Yeah, it says SRS airbag here. It even says it on the seat. So yeah, it's got, I think, 7 airbags, because there's a knee airbag too. It has to get all these features for safety reasons, which are mandatory in the UK, because it does not get an auto dimming inside rear view mirror. This is a bummer. Let's open the sun blind of the panoramic roof. Yeah, they could have worked the way the roof is working a bit better, because you know what, it eats into the headroom at the rear. Now obviously with this gone out, the sun blind, I think headroom would be slightly better. Let's open the sunroof. There it opens. I think this is one of the first few Suzuki cars to actually get a sunroof. Oh my god, oh my goodness, oh my lord, this opens so big. That's what she said. Yeah, that's the maximum it opens, but it's huge. I've never seen a car's sunroof open so big. I thought either to khulega, but it's like opened completely. That's impressive. Suzuki, really like the way it has been done. Fantastic. Okay, and overall quality is okay, average. It's not the best, but still better than what we get in India. Now we'll keep this open to get in some light, of course. Now there's some leather treatment here, which improves the overall perceived quality, because yeah, hard plastics are not there, but on the top of the dashboard, on the bottom, lot of hard and scratchy plastics I have been given. Twin cup holders here. This slides ahead and behind, and there is some amount of storage space here in the center console as well. Now these are the buttons for the 4-wheel drive system. So this is to lock it when you want maximum traction. This for snow mode, this for sport mode, which actually gives it more torque to the rear wheels when you're accelerating and cornering. And this is for the auto function. So you just press it and it gets into auto. Okay, whenever you're making this change, now you can actually see that in the instrument cluster. There it's showing you snow, there it's showing you sport, and there auto. And then let me press the lock button. It says not lockable, set to snow mode first. So yeah, it locks in snow mode only. So we're just going to put it at auto at the moment, and you can see it's telling me auto there. Steering wheel feels nice to hold, has this beautiful stitching which is finished in black. These are the controls for the audio system. These are the controls for the cruise control, and this gets adaptive cruise control. So this is the button you press to decide how much distance you want to maintain with the car ahead for the adaptive cruise control. This is the button to turn on and off the lane departure warning, and these are the controls for the phone calls, okay, for telephone and all. There's a dummy button here, the horn. Oh, very meek. It's very bad. Pathetic horn. I didn't like it at all. These are the controls for the wipers. It gets automatic wipers. These are the controls for the headlights. It gets automatic headlights as well. If you notice, the levers are switched, unlike what we get in India, of course. Now, it tells you if the passenger airbag is on or off. Here, you get dual zone climate control, air conditioning. Alright, and air conditioning is actually a chiller. There's some storage space here. There's a USB charging socket. There is no USB-C, which is quite disappointing here. Gear lever feels nice to hold, has this covering on it. I think it's sort of leather wrapped and silver finishing as well. Now, the thing is, it tells you every time this warning when you turn on the car, so you just have to agree irrespective of whatever it is. Once you get into the screen, you realize this 9-inch unit is actually quite nice. Only thing is the fonts are a bit dated here, so you press this button and there you actually get inside a whole sort of menu which tells you how you have been driving, what is the fuel efficiency like, average speed and all that stuff, and then multiple menus. It tells you what has been your trip history in terms of what is the fuel efficiency every time you have fueled up. So a lot of focus on the mileage bit, and then obviously it shows you how the mild hybrid system works. In fact, it also gets a tire pressure monitor. Let me get out of this menu, and then here you get a navigation system as well, which is fine. It's a bit difficult to use, not the easiest to use, and the usual bits which you would get. Okay, so it's not a very...
Their speed went quicker and they were moving all the way to the line.
Yeah, audio quality is okay, nothing great as such. Let's get back into the menu. Now it gets a 360-degree camera. You press this button and there the 360-degree camera works. Okay, it'll do this full swipe up. It's the same camera which we get in India as well. So there's nothing different in that regard. It's doing this full spinning thingy and there. Okay, now the interesting bit is, I can see it in another view. This view is actually shown every time I turn on and off the car. So here I turn off the car, it tells me what has been the driving parameters, and okay, it's showing me the parking sensors bit also. It gets front and rear parking sensors. Here I turn on the car, it shows me the Suzuki logo. It says AllGrip, and here it shows the Suzuki logo again. And after that, it's going to do this whole spin thing. I don't know why audio turns on automatically. Camera quality is actually quite nice and impressive. I like it. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's get into reverse to show you the reverse parking camera. Before that, let this shut and finish its thing. And it's a bit slow, the system. Here we are into reverse. You can see 360-degree camera. You get guidelines as well. This camera quality is not that great somehow, so a bit better would not hurt anybody. Now you can see the instrument cluster. Well, this is the tachometer, this is the temperature meter. It's showing you who's worn a seatbelt behind or not, and this actually happens to be the speedometer, which is marked in miles per hour and kilometers per hour instead, and that is the speedometer. Now there's this lever here. You press this to browse through a lot of information. It tells you the fuel information, it tells you again more fuel information, then even more fuel information, average speed, what is the idle time, what is the clock, what's the time right now. This is for the front and rear parking sensors. This is the power and torque meter, which shows you how much power and torque in a graphical format, and then shows you how much acceleration and braking you have done. It shows you how the mild hybrid system is working, and then it shows you a digital speedometer as well. The only thing is there's a slight gripe here which we'll come to when we are driving the car. Of course, you get a manual handbrake. You get heating function for the front seats, heated seats, which have like two modes, low and high. So both the front seats get that. Heating is actually beneficial. It's 16 degrees outside. I'm sweating inside, I'm freezing outside. I don't know what to do. There's a sunglass holder here, light placement here on the top, SOS button as well. Here you get a mirror along with a light. Same is the case here as well. You get a mirror along with a light. Well, that's that. Let me just shut the car and let's just get outside. So you get this quarter glass, and overall ergonomics are actually very sorted in this car. I definitely like it, and see, I've opened the door. It's showing me which door is open, and I like the way the graphics have been done, but this is nothing new. We have already seen all this and more before as well. So let me just lock the car, and here, once I lock the car, it doesn't make that irritating ching 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 sound which the Indian models make, but it's a very impressive car. Only thing is they need to slot it right between the Brezza and the Grand Vitara, so that will be a challenge considering that the Brezza's price has gone over the roof. Let's do one thing, let's start driving right away. And the steering wheel is adjustable both for reach as well as rake. Kya baat hai? All right, we are all set to go, which means turning on the car. Oh my goodness, it turns out with such crazy smoothness. Handbrake down and off we go. So firstly, we are going to get into the main part of the road because right now we are in sort of grass. And let me tell you straight away that the engine is extremely smooth. The smoothness is unbelievable. Let's just turn on this also. This meter, 15.4 kilometers per liter is what it's saying is the mileage, which is very impressive. There you can see the energy flow. Here also we will change this, and we will turn on the energy flow part of things. I'm not sure if you guys can see it or not, but there are a lot of things you have to go through. So we'll just show how much power and torque is being consumed in graphical format. And onto the throttle, first gear 6000 rpm, and yeah, acceleration is actually quite brisk. I like it for sure because there's this smoothness to this engine. Now the thing is, the India model is also very similar. The older S-Cross was very similar because it's underpinned by the same C platform, which is quite good, but the difference here is the engine. This 1.4 liter booster jet engine is absolutely phenomenal because when paired to the 48 volt mild hybrid system, it ensures there's no turbo lag. So turbo lag is very well kept under check because of the mild hybrid system. So it gives this boost at lower speed. So I think it gives you around a 13 horsepower boost, which comes at lower speeds, and then by that time that boost gets over, the turbo lag is also gone. So there's no lag as such. It just has a nice pull with a good mid-range, and the engine only becomes vocal in the top end of the rev range. So for the most part, it is a very silent engine, which is quite nice. Gearbox is also slick shifting. The clutch is also on the lighter side, and there's this nice pull in the mid-range. It pulls really strongly. Braking performance is also very strong. Okay, now what you're going to do, you're going to turn off traction control. Traction control off. With traction control off, it also turns off automatic emergency braking or forward collision warning. Revving the motor, revs till 5000 rpm. Bogs down very quickly. No wheel spin. How is that possible? How can this car not give you wheel spins? Very simple, because obviously it's in auto mode, so it detects that. So what we're going to do is we are actually going to get into sport mode. Okay, revving the motor. No, nothing. That's thanks to four-wheel drive system, which does not let any sort of wheel spin happen. Performance is very likable. Now in sport mode, power is channeled more to the rear axle, of course, and because of which there's this little bit sportiness to the drive. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour takes 10.2 seconds, which is quick enough. In fact, to put it into perspective, the Swift Sport takes 9.1 seconds, so 1.1 seconds slower for a car which is much more heavier, because obviously it's bigger in terms of size. Plus, the four-wheel drive system also adds some weight, which means it's time for me to do the wiper test right now. You can see the wipers work well. It's going to rain, I feel that. Around the corners, you'll be a bit disappointed because there's body roll and the steering isn't that direct. So there's this lack of feel in the center. It kind of feels vague there. You look at this. Yeah, not that impressive. Now it gets wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity. And the good part is that it has got 7 airbags. Yes, there's a knee airbag too. Okay, I like shifting through the gearbox. This is a very nice and, dare I say it, an enjoyable car to drive. So here I am going to take a ride. Yes, I have to get used to the way the indicators work. Revving the motor and off we go. Yeah, a little bit of wheel spin finally. Honestly, all these ADAS systems work well. Only thing is that the forward collision warning is a bit too immediate. So the thing is, it rings very fast and then it will keep ringing even after you've crashed the car. So that is the problem with the forward collision warning. Not that well tuned. Lane keep assist works fine when you're actually going out of a lane. It will tell you that lane departure is happening and all. So it tells you a lot of information, which is kind of useful too. And there, let's take a right here, and oh my god, this four-wheel drive system really gives it a huge amount of benefit in the way this car behaves. It's actually quite nice, this system, well calibrated. Now this 1.4 liter booster jet engine, which is obviously turbocharged, produces 129 PS of power at 5,500 RPM, and the torque output to 35 Newton meters between 2 to 3,000 RPM. The result is there's this nice, long, smooth surge ahead in the mid-range. Mid-range is very nice and strong in this car, and because this gearbox is so slick shifting, it's very enjoyable as well. Here into 6th gear, now you can't hear much. Only thing is there's road noise which you can feel. Tire noise also, you can feel a bit of the wind noise, but tire noise is the most apparent here, so that could have been better insulated. Overall insulation levels are fine, not the best as such. And then when I lift off the throttle, it shows me regeneration happening. So how does this mild hybrid system actually work? It works fantastically well. You know why? For a mild hybrid, it does its job. Firstly, it makes the car more efficient, and the mileage is actually decent. 15-16 kilometers per liter you can easily extract from this car. Secondly, what it does is when you lift off the throttle, it regenerates power into the battery. I'm sitting on the batteries and the co-passenger also sits on the battery, so it does that regeneration part of things very smoothly as well. And then it has this torque assist which works at lower RPM. Now of course I'll have to compare this 1.4 liter booster jet engine with Hyundai and Kia's 1.4 liter 150 GDI motor, which produces slightly more power at 140 horsepower, so 11 horsepower more, and torque output is also slightly more at 242 Newton meters, which is 7 Newton meters more. But the difference isn't world apart. There you also get a 7-speed dual clutch automatic transmission, which is state of the art. Here you also get the option of an automatic gearbox, which is smooth shifting, but honestly I would definitely pick the manual because it's so much more engaging to drive. Now, a small issue with this multi-information display, which is 4.2 inch in size, is that when you're driving the car and you put the digital speedometer, because you really cannot make out the speeds ahead to read it accurately, when it does a roadside detection like this one, it says 50 there, 50 miles per hour that is, it will automatically change the display and start showing you the speed sign detection, which is a bit absurd. Why would you take away the screen which I'm looking at? Top speed is 195 kilometers per hour, which is decent for a car of this size, and high speed stability is also quite fine. And with so many ADAS functions now, it works really well, the whole ADAS system. So it's lighter when compared to its rivals, but obviously it's much more heavier than, say, the Swift and all that. Okay, here we've got a private land. It says keep out, so I'm keeping out by taking a U-turn. There you can see, quite smooth. The ride is very nice. The ride is absolutely brilliant here, and there we managed it without any issue whatsoever. So like I was telling you, the ride is actually very nice in this car. I like the way this is a smooth ride, absorbs almost everything in its stride without much of a fuss. So they've done a good job with the ride quality. Into first gear. Now, because this is AllGrip, which is obviously all-wheel drive, okay, it can go to a lot more places than a front-wheel drive vehicle. Now, you get the option of opting for all-wheel drive, you get the option of opting for automatic, and I think this is the best combo because this is one of the few cars in the segment which is actually offering you, yes, this is one of the few cars in the segment which is offering you the combination of a manual transmission along with all-wheel drive. Usually that combination does not come at all. Okay, I'm just so confused. I don't know why these levers are switched here and there. Okay, let's use the wipers. Plenty of spray on offer, and the wipers work really well, but unfortunately the stuff on the windscreen is such that it just does not come out at all. Okay, now I'm just waiting for the roadside detection. There. Okay, actually I've turned that system off because when traction control turns off now, some of the ADAS systems, they automatically turn off. That's the reason some of the cars now, they automatically turn on traction control after a certain speed. It happens in Mahindra cars. I think it was happening in the Vauxhalls also, which I was driving recently in the UK. So that's another thing you have to keep in mind. Steering could have done with more feel and feedback. It's not as vague a steering wheel which you have got used to now with Maruti, but here it's better for sure, but still could be better because it's kind of little bit doesn't give you that confidence to push this car around the corners, although you will be surprised that handling is actually quite nimble, and this is an agile car nonetheless. So what we will do is we will actually turn on the traction control system, not that it makes a difference. There it's showing me, okay, here, yeah, now it's showing me 50 miles right there, whereas I have to press this button to get to the digital speed. I want to see the digital speed, and here people have a very bad habit of tailgating. Can you see that blue color Volkswagen van right on my ass? For God knows what reason, it just chose to be right behind, not maintaining a distance. Maybe their ADAS doesn't work, or that car doesn't have ADAS, because ADAS will make sure that this car will keep a good distance. Even with the minimum distance with the car ahead, when I select that with the adaptive cruise control system, it will still make sure that I have a good distance between the car ahead, almost 3 to 4 car lengths. So here we go. I love the gearbox, yeah. The amount I can praise the gearbox is absolutely crazy. That's how good it is. So like I was telling you, 1300 kgs is the weight of the car. You really do not feel the weight of the vehicle, and it's a very nice, comfortable car with the ride pretty much sorted. And here we are going to take a turn inside. No, this is not our turn. I just get so confused. Is this our turn? Probably not. Okay, probably yes. I don't know. I don't care. I'm just going to keep going straight and straight. So guys, this is a quick vlog of the Maruti, rather the Suzuki S-Cross. People are having fun on their bikes, which is very much likely to come to India, and when it does, it will, I think, do pretty well. Here we will get in from here. I think I was here before. Things are flying in the boot. I know you guys are like, let's launch this beast. So here we are into first gear. Traction control on or off doesn't make any difference. Here we are going to turn off the traction control. Yeah, it says idling stop unavailable. So the stop start system also works much better thanks to this mild hybrid thingy. And there we keep this button pressed. You have to keep it pressed for almost 4-5 seconds, and there we are, revving the motor, and off we go. Oh, finally some wheel spin. Oh my god, look at that car. If you like this vlog, make sure to give the thumbs up. That's a like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Bye bye.